So what we've been going through on this boat, it's a lot of boat, right? It's a lot of big boat, and it's like this big ass dish that's got to be perfect and put back in grandma's china cabinet, you know? And right now we've got a ton of inconsistencies that I can see. We're doing 3 steps of compound, and I really want you guys to get the first one because that sets the stage for everything else. So the extra is a very, very coarse compound, and the way we mix it, oh, that's select, okay, extra. The way we mix it is about 70% compound, 30% water, right? So it sloshes around in there and it drips out nicely, okay? The only way extra is truly effective is if you're using a fresh, coarse compounding wool pad, okay? Fresher pad. Those beat up ones that we have, they're not gonna bite, right? It's a combination of things happening. The hairs on this do a lot of the cutting. The compound does a lot more of the cutting. But the combination of the two give us what we want when we're going after the condition that we're trying to correct. So correcting things with extra compound, we lay in a little. I like to use the base of the bottle to push it into the fibers so it doesn't drip when you go up the ladder, right? But the compound is in there right now. So that's plenty. And then the speed that we run at is very slow and very consistent, okay? So I know this is a markation of you changing compounds, but I still see clouds like this whole fucking side. Blah, like, blah. So I'm gonna show you how I spin extra, spike style. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'll lay some on. Then I'll tap, spread it around. Then I'll look at it, right? If I got a complete pattern in the area that I'm working, right? There should be no blanks, there shouldn't be any zigzags, should be none of that. Like, this is the area that I am correcting right now, right? Which is between my shoulders. I'm not reaching too far up, I'm not reaching too far down. I'm not reaching too far this way, I'm not reaching too far that way. Why am I not doing any of those things?
Makes the buffer wobble. You can't control it.
It makes it inconsistent if you're beyond your like realm of control, right? So I want to stay in control. I'm still at about 2.5 here, which is about 900 RPM, okay? I'm gonna lock it in because I got my spread. Now I'm gonna lock it in and run this section. Problem. Can anybody tell me what the problem is?
That's not so.
True. That will also create inconsistencies. You want it spinning true. I'm not putting any pressure to this thing at all. I'm just traveling along the surface and letting the pad and the product do the work for me. I go back and forth. I'm not trying to stretch it too far, but I also don't want to leave it too thick in any section. You know, I want really clean, consistent compound spread all over the place. It's a clay-based compound. It's going to completely disintegrate by the time that I'm done with it. As long as I'm running flat and true and spreading it in a way that looks consistent. Looks and feels consistent as I'm running over it. If your hands are moving any faster than this while spreading extra, you're not giving the product enough chance to work. This is a physical action, not a chemical action. This coarse compound is a lot like 800 grit sandpaper. Now, if you can imagine using a piece of sandpaper inconsistently on a surface this large, it would look really stupid, you know? So even with this compound, you want to be as consistent as possible. It's very forgiving because it is factually a polishing compound. I give it a look, right? My pattern is still very even, right? It's a little thicker down here on the black line because I noticed it was starting to pick up that color, so I didn't want to travel with it too much. Right now, while it's sitting there, it's drying out, right? Right now, I still got damp compound on the pad. So what do I do to deal with both of those situations at the same time?
More compound.
I just speed up. 2 clicks. It's going to spin hotter and faster and start to dry this clay out so it'll fall off the boat. Okay? Still no pressure. I'm just making contact. Double back. I'm giving the same amount of attention to every inch that I am traveling. I'm not fighting it, I'm not leaning into it, I'm not trying to control it. I'm just driving the thing where it's gotta go, you know? Trying to stay balanced. I'm trying to do what the pad and the product want to do. I check it. There's a very light dusting left there. But what I like to do is leave it a little bit thicker on the edges so I know where my overlap is going to be. We can't miss an inch. This whole thing, 77 feet on this side, 77 feet on the other, all got to be done the same way. And starting with a coarse compound, that's going to set us up to win. Okay? Now, I wish I was here day one doing this lesson, but all of you have buffing experience. But I think it was time to check you because we've got one more chance at this boat, and that's tomorrow before weather takes over, okay? So, last step, I need a clean microfiber. Clean one. Who's got a clean one? Anyone got one in their pocket? Clean microfiber. Give me the microfiber. Thank you very much. When I am taking down compound, I see a lot of you using a terry cloth. I'm not mad at that, okay? But if you're gonna use a terry cloth, you gotta finish with a microfiber. It's cleaner, it's finer, it's gonna pick up more. The terry cloth is gonna move it around. If it's dry, great, but it'll mostly just move it around, okay? When we're using the coatings, we use the terry cloth because we're knocking it off, right? It's dry, it's gonna fall off. But this is slicker, so we need something with finer hair to pick it up. Circles, all the time circles. Anytime you see me buffing anything down with a rag, I do it in a circle pattern. This is where I lay in a little bit of pressure. See how my palm is spread? Right? That allows me to use as much of the rag as possible. This is where I crosshatch. I just do this motion and then I look again. I know that motion like the back of my hand, right? Circle, 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 just like the buffing machine is doing, right? Flip the rag, back in 4. Here's my overlap. There's my top line. Here's my back line. Extra. Right? Can everybody remember how to do that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna post it to the WhatsApp when I'm on Wi-Fi. Okay? But thanks for watching, thanks for paying attention, and thank you for showing up tomorrow bright and early to take care of business on this boat. Okay? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's gotta be done tomorrow.